Hello everyone, I'm Grandmaster Mon Hambleton and welcome back to Building Habits. In this series, I'm going to teach you some fundamental habits to improve your chess game instantly. Starting as if I'm a complete beginner, I'm going to climb up the ranks using only these simple habits. However, to keep it realistic, I have to follow a strict set of rules to simulate what it's like playing at each level. Remember, the goal is not to win every single game, but to teach you fundamental, high percentage moves that are correct most of the time. As my rating rises, the habits will become more advanced and the limitations will start to fall off naturally. In level 3, we still want to avoid gambits and sacrifices. Now, we're thinking for ourselves by playing active chess as well as learning advanced tactical themes. Finally, make sure you study basic opening theory and learn the common responses. Now, let's get into the chess and learn how to build good habits together. Well, we're definitely going to start off the same way with the move e4. I see the move d5, I'm still going to capture it, right? I see the queen come out, I'm still going to put the knight here. I'm still going to put the other knight here. So far, I wouldn't say that anything is that different, right? We're going to make a claim in the center here. See a move like that, still going to take it. Are we sure we're not at level 1 here? We take this knight, the queen takes back. Might be on the lookout for something more fancy, but you know what? Let's get developed real nicely here. Bishop here, castle. Ah, yes. So he goes bishop out, and then he goes bishop back. Well, this is perfect. We actually get to use something that's not even level 3. We get to use something from level 2 that we worked on. Now, we've never actually got a chance to play it. But this is one of those things I was saying last time. You never get a chance to play it, but don't feel bad. There's going to be an opportunity where you're going to have a chance to do it. The bishop and the queen line up on this pawn. I gotta go here. Okay, let's finish our development here. Bishop out. We can even use our super snorkel to assist. It's also going to get us a nice capture right there. So now we have the trades, still doing the same things with rook into the middle. And here's a indicated, bishop b5 check. This is probably a move we would never play, but we're playing a little bit more active and a little less reactive. What I mean is I'm probably not going to wait for someone to pin my knight. I might preempt it with h3. In this case, I want to play this to put my rook on the queen and the king. Some kind of tactical theme here. Well, if I give a nice check first of all, I improve my bishop, which was no good. It wasn't even hitting the center. So I check, and then I bring my rook into the middle, which is all part of habits. So you just do it in a little bit of a different order. I'm really playing all the same moves. Getting my bishop out to that square. Game ends in, 14 moves? Not too difficult. Geez, level 3 is just so powerful. But how much of this was level 3? This looked all standard, right? Everything we saw here, completely the same, including castling. Even this one, less to do about level 3. We talked about this. When the bishop and queen aim at that pawn, you gotta go here. Even if that pawn was already there, we'd still have to do it. I know it's annoying. But there you go. Bishop comes out, hitting the center. Get a trade. Nothing new here. Now, is this move new? Absolutely. But our bishop is truthfully not really doing anything in the center. So normally I might improve it to here, but instead I'm going to a bit of a further square, hitting the king, because I know that if my opponent's king, especially if the queen is there as well, it's even better. Let's say the queen was here on d8, I would still do the same thing. I would still play bishop check and still play rook check, because it's so powerful in chess if you can ever castle first and get your rook into the middle and check your opponent's king. That's every single time a smart thing to do. So if I start with the rook here, my opponent's going to get castled and I just don't quite get to make the threat that I want. So instead, we do this, or we do this. If I can ever get the rook to the middle, oh man, that's gonna be good. Let's go to the next one. Okay, pawn into the middle. Bring out the knight. Obviously the other knight to follow. Bishop. And I'm definitely noticing my opponent's center here. So I'm gonna start by taking, but I'm noticing, like, hang on a sec. Maybe we can get this pawn all the way up. Let's give that a try. The full pawn in the center. Okay, the knight needs to move. Can't go in the center, actually. So I guess this is, yeah, next best thing. Okay, bishop needs to hit the center. Let's go here. Let's get castled. Got our snorkel here. Not gonna forget the basics. Anyone anyone got an idea? Okay, I don't know what move to do. I'm putting the rook in the middle. It's always good there. So this is maybe safe move to do, and perhaps we're able to utilize our advanced tactic here. No, call me crazy, but if you've got a pin, then the piece is not actually there, right? So it's not. Would you look at this? Would you look at this? We're using the pin. We're not just pinning something. We're actually making use of it. Quite literally what it means to play an advanced tactic. It's like it's not there. Now, if he moves the king, all of a sudden it's there again. Okay, he's hit us with a check. No problem. No problem. I get out of your way. Rook here. Now, I know this looks crazy, but our rook is actually safe here. So I'm not going to overreact. I think I'm just going to continue to develop. Is that insane? I'm just out here developing. Bishop to the middle. My rook is safe, but I got to be very mindful. The second I see this move, we need to be getting to safety. Rook takes g7. Okay. I mean, you're going to have to walk me through it here, bud. Queen there. Okay. We have some safety again with our king. Some safety there, bud. Bet you didn't expect that. Queen f6. Ooh. Yeah, I did miss that. I did miss that. Real head scratcher. Real head scratcher. I guess the question is, will he resign? You shouldn't. I mean, you guys know you should never resign, period. But if your opponent hasn't taken the thing that you've made a mistake and hung, then you should definitely not resign. Right? So I'm wondering, like, does he have it in him? Maybe we can send him a little emoji here. I'll send him a facepalm emoji. Nothing. Nothing. Poker face. Crazy. Okay. We'll continue. There you go. And if I didn't send that emoji, I'd be sitting here for 5 more minutes playing this game out. But instead, we got a nice resign. We get to move on to the next one. The shorter the games, the more games we play, the more instructive the series is. Make sure to send a facepalm emoji in the name of education. E4. Our opponent's going with E5. We'll bring the knight out. This is a pretty good example. I see this. Immediately, I want to take the middle of the board. I only see the one pawn there. I got my knight and my queen. It's a great opportunity to take the middle. Okay, we go back to the habits, right? Leave the knights out. We need our bishop out. We need to get castled. Buddy's going here. Okay, what's happening here, guys? What's happening here? This is for me, right? This belongs to me. Queen there. Gotta save our bishop. And just go all the way back here. Knight takes e4. Another great example, right? We belong to level 3. We are independent. We are playing active chess, not reactive chess. Reactive is like, huh, you took, I have to take. Active chess is saying, listen, my guy, I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. I'm going to castle. Big moment for ourselves here. Don't get caught up trying to be fancy. Look for tactics here. Instead, just get yourself to safety. And the same thing that happened earlier might happen again. I'm looking to get my rook into the middle against the king and queen. Anytime you can castle and bring your rook to the middle on an open file against your opponent's king, do it. Can't stress enough. So we're going to take back. But I mean, at this point, you already know. Like I've got this move on deck. Okay, bishop comes out. We've got to continue the rest of our game here. But our opponent is far behind in the current position. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to make him pay. Bishop out. Let's finish our development. Okay. We're covering the center here. Just going to get our snorkel out. And the habits always take care of you if you take care of the habits. There we go. Nice little beautiful pin right there. Okay, bishop's attacked. Okay, let's keep hitting the center here. We want to make sure to move our queen, double our rooks, all that good stuff. Double the rooks, right? This is what we need. And I'll probably send a few pawns up the board. Don't mind if I do. And we get a win pretty nicely. GG. You wouldn't have been able to resist queen h5 check. No, but we won the queen here. You would have played queen h5 check. Everyone in chat would have done things this way and won the queen. There's no way you're telling me you would have played queen h5 check here and missed an opportunity to win the queen 3 moves down the line. I'm very upset hearing that. As a matter of fact, I think you are playing queen h5 check here on purpose. There's no way that you are that stupid. I'm very, very upset hearing that information. I think you're trolling. I think you're playing this move on purpose. It's the only explanation. Because obviously, if you just follow the habits, play good high quality moves, when the guy castles, you'll have this tactic ready to go. At this rating, I'd assume that you saw that. You know, just follow the habits here, right? I'm just going to assume you're trolling. It does upset me, but we'll move on. The habits has always got your back. Don't worry. I'm in a position like this. Queen h5, yeah, looking like a snack. Great. But simple development, you're always going to have a good position. You might miss some opportunities, but you're going to have a good position. That's for sure. Pawn in the middle. We ain't changing nothing here. Okay, the knight comes out. Great. We can still develop our pieces. In with our knight. And a nice adjustment that we can make is once again take that full center. Okay, he's coming out with the bishop. Okay, I guess we'll take here. Whoa. Okay. What the hell's happening? Knight into the middle here. He's doing our level 3 stuff to us. He's doing our level 3 stuff to us. He's using a pin. That's quite an advanced move, my friend. Jeez, what am I gonna? I gotta bail out here. This was quite tricky by our friend here. We were in some serious trouble on c3. Okay, I'm feeling a little nervous here. Get our bishop out to the center. He's hitting me with that. We got this pawn hanging now. At this point, I'm a little spooked here. I'm gonna play it safe and I'm gonna get castled. I don't have it in me, and I'm not trying to be a hero here. Let's make that trade, and I'm gonna tuck my tail and get my habits in. I don't need to be the guy who tried to hang on to his pawn and live a very short life. Okay, queen here. Let's continue. Yeah, rook in the middle. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Okay, obviously we'll make a trade here. Okay, other rook to the middle. Just trying not to be a hero here. Sticking to the fundamentals. Yes, they will still get it done. Our guy has no snork. What does he expect is gonna happen? What does he expect? And it's always an extra special victory in the Habit series when you can checkmate someone on the back rank. Because we always have a snorkel. Our opponents should as well. Sooner or later, they will learn, but it always is extra special when you get to mate someone like that, because if they were following the habits, it would never happen. Feels good. And the guy clearly knew some pretty nice habits at the beginning. I mean, he had like a pretty fancy opening on us. But I really stand by this decision where things are getting a little murky here. You're like, oh, okay, well, he's gonna come with this next. It's a lot of pressure on my king. It's like it's one pawn, guys. It's 1100 ELO and it's one pawn. You know what I mean? Relax. Like, you can just get the hell out of Dodge. We don't need to be a hero. Give up one pawn. I promise you, the difference between yourself and your opponent at 1100 ELO is not one pawn. it's not one pawn. Not at all. Pawn into the middle. We are going to bring the knight out. And we are up against the Sicilian, which is one of those openings that I would love to introduce a new move to. The move is c3. That's it. It's just c3. c3 is one of those moves that I always recommend against the Sicilian. Our goal is immediately to play d4. Immediately. That's why you're playing this move. So if you're not following up with d4, there is a problem. Take back there. Our opponent's going for this. Now, when you play c3, d4, okay, obviously you're gonna get the entire center most of the time. After you get the whole center, my advice is usually to keep pushing. You might not win the game immediately, might not win the game at all, but I like the idea of d5. It might not always be the best in each position, but it's most likely going to do a lot of damage to your opponent. This move, it's a capture. I mean, we still play by the rules here. Take that, of course. Capturing a pair of knights in the center looks pretty fine to me. Okay, the knight comes out. Let's get our bishop out into the center here. Let's get castled and let's go for that trade. Still doing the same old, same old. Bishop to c5. Okay, well, I guess we'll just go for our regular snork. Our bishop doesn't really have these two squares, so more natural is going to be this, I guess, kind of standard move for us. Moving a bit further out, pinning the knight. Okay, he goes back. Let's just bring that rook into the middle. He's going back. Let's make a trade here. Queen's got to move. We'll bring our rook into the middle. Absolutely. Oh, looking pretty solid here. Piece is hanging. Yeah, let's go here. Into the middle. I guess if he takes, we're just gonna trade everything there. We have our snorkel. Our king's pretty safe here. Maybe we can double. Open file. So obviously I'm gonna double here and not here. Let's do it. We have some RPMs to get into as well, and overall I'm not disliking the position here. Okay, make a trade there. And we're all set up. You know, RPM's knight into the middle certainly stands out. Just gonna go here, I guess. We can complete our RPMs right here. Queen is hit. The center is not available. Next closest thing here, maybe? And as always, if the queens trade, I'm starting to think a little bit more about my king joining the center. Very important. This is the first time I think we've faced a Sicilian. So first time we've really needed to showcase our new stuff, our fancy new toys. Let's take here. We still have captures to make. And what can we do? We've got our queen pretty much in the middle here. I guess let's bring our knight into the center. Let's bring our knight into the center. We have a little bit more bandwidth. Ooh. Rook d8. Rook d8. I'm getting a vision. I'm getting a vision. Check. Check to the miserable king. And we get to take an entire rook. Bishop here. The same way we had the knight lined up here. We have the knight lined up here. And our tactical vision is unmatched. Almost hawk-like. GG. The tactics are helping out. Discovered attacks, discovered checks. You can see how it really just is tactics. At the beginning, when you're learning chess, you're just starting out, you don't need tactics. You truly don't. They are 100% irrelevant. You need to know where your pieces belong. By not playing tactics, you are going to miss tons of them. You go back and look at the first games you've ever played on the site, believe me, it's going to be riddled with tactics that you did not see. But who cares? You're putting your pieces on good squares. Later, it's going to start to become all about tactics because then you already know where the pieces go, and so do your opponents. So for the most part, you're both going to be playing higher quality moves. That's not going to separate you anymore. When you're at low elo, people don't know where the knights go. They don't know that the pieces should go towards the center. They don't know in the end game that your king should be moving a lot. So you can separate yourself from those players with those simple additions. But once you're up here, they're doing those things too. So what really separates you now is you're still doing all the exact same things, but you just got more tactical vision. You're making more things happen. You know about the tactical patterns. So ignore them completely when you're learning chess right at the start. But then you don't just need to add them. You need to drill them like crazy. You need to know every pattern. Tactics are going to start to dominate your games from 800 to 1600. that entire window is probably just basic ass level 1 habits plus a lot of goddamn tactics, playing them every time they're possible, trying not to blunder them while executing them yourself. Pawn into the center. We start with this knight, mainly because if the knight comes out, I want to be able to match it. Let's go here. Bishop wants to get out. There we go. Okay, just going with this one. So I would say maybe this is a situation, right? Someone's doing this. We might blindly end up in some of these positions, but you know what? I'm looking at the snorkel and I'm saying to myself, well, it makes sense to do it first because this guy's probably got one idea and it's bishop g5. One idea. Let me just stop it. Okay, and he's going here. Again, let me do this before I rush in and castle. And look at the difference. What the heck is this guy doing? Right? You just have to know that if your opponent is bringing the queen out early like this, that they have to be up to something, right? They have to be up to something. They're clearly a more aggressive player. I would definitely make a point of holding off on certain moves, and this is exactly what level 3 is about. I'm making the exact same moves, but I'm definitely making them in a certain order. Making them in a certain order. Okay, had I made them in a different order, maybe there would already be checkmate threats against me. So, in this case, d5. Our opponent has moved the queen. Let's take the entire center, but he's hitting me with what? Queen g3. Okay, queen g3. Active, not reactive. He's got one queen out. I've got my whole army. Active, not reactive. Active, not reactive. Active, not reactive. There's a big difference. You have to trust that your position is going to be better, right? It's pretty rare in chess that your opponent only has one queen. You've got all 4 of your pieces and you're expanding in the center and your opponent's better. That's just not how chess works. He takes back. Active, not reactive. Active, not reactive. Straight into the center. Look at the difference between this game and some of our other games. Guy is just hanging a queen, but it makes sense. I mean, in general, you have to understand people that play their queen out on move 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, they're definitely not players that understand the game the way it's supposed to be played. They definitely understand a lot about the game, but it's more rooted in like tactical and trappy kind of stuff. So you can just stick it to them. They got a queen out, like, I'm all over you, man. I'm all over you. Let's take it. Bishop takes. How about nice fork for you? How does this feel? How does this feel? Let's take it. Okay, there's a hanging piece here. Bishop needs to move. I'll just go right back where we came from. And that's a trade for us right there. So, especially given how much material we are ahead, we're not going to hesitate. Okay. Queen needs to move. Let's get castled. Not forget our very basic habits. Bring our rook to the middle. Okay. Queen needs to move. We can bring our other rook. I don't think we're going to stress too much about this game. The basic habits will take us home. Okay, here, well, we have a trade, so let's go ahead and do that. Make this capture here. And what is the medicine that we should administer to our opponent here? Let's see if we can just push. Okay, not quite, not quite. What can we do here? Get a rook in somewhere. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of take everything in sight here. Okay. Take everything. Go for this. Push a pawn's never failed me before. Not about to start failing me now. With my hawk-like vision here, able to see a nice tactic. Okay, king's moving over. More hawk-like vision here. Great fork. Okay. Our opponent is he's still battling on here. You love to see it. Oh. Let's make sure to take this. I'm not gonna lie. This has never happened. We're at 1150 and it's never happened. Can you believe it? 1150. Not one time has it ever occurred. It's almost poetic because we do it to everyone. We play on as we should. Bogdan decided to play on and he was rewarded. The most important habit, never resign. He never resigned. It paid off. We were literally two moves away from a win, but we get punished the same way that we've been punishing everyone else. Playing on. It's always worth it. It truly is. This game is probably the best reminder of that, right? We think we're just promoting a pawn here, and there's so many cases where someone's moving the pawn up the board and you don't take it and it becomes a queen or something. So I was like, okay, let's just take it and then do this. But of course the geometry here is just perfect to corner the king. That's why you play on. It can happen to us too. This is why we do it. We can't be upset that someone else is doing it too. It puts a wry smile on my face. A draw earned. Yet, the only bad thing is that he's not going to realize that it was playing on that got him this. I think he is going to assume it was his great opening that got him that draw. So, yeah, unfortunate. Well, at least the next guy that goes up against him is going to get to play against this queen move early on. You're welcome, whoever you are. E4, and our opponent plays this, which means you guys should know now, at level 3 especially, take the whole center. Just, if you can, do it. 2 knights out. Bishop joining as well. Going to be getting castled. A little h3 habits. Rook to the middle. Okay, bishop moves and stays on the center. And guys, let's not sit here and pretend that that this phases us. We're well beyond the queenside snork years. Easy. Easy. Bishop hitting the center. Queen. Probably going to go here. Let's get a capture in there. Okay. Pawn is being attacked. Let's see here. We can push in the center and also deal with it. Like, it's not attacked anymore. Active, not reactive. Active, not reactive. Well, okay, yeah, I do want to save my queen. So let's let's not be a hero here. And you know, the game is really what we've always played, but the order is a little different. right? RPM in the center just because it was attacked. So I'm just adjusting and saying, okay, well, you know, I don't need to bring my queen up and just lose a pawn. If I can see that I'm going to lose a pawn and I know that eventually I'm going to move it with an RPM, it may as well. Let's bring the rooks to the center here, kind of like this spot that we're in. We've got our rooks out, bishops seem happy, snorkel. All the pieces are where they want to be. So I think we're in a pretty nice spot here. The queen moves. Again, you notice like I'm just not taking this knight for no reason. It's not really doing anything to me. It's just sitting there. So unless I evaluate that this piece is like super dangerous, I'm just not really gonna care. Okay, queen moves. Let's bring this knight into the middle. It's always been a safe move for us. Okay, knight here, and with my hawk-like vision, I can actually see a huge tactic here. Wow. Whew. Just sick. Knight e7. This is what level 3 is all about. We get to sneak in and take his queen. Let's take that. All right, what's this level 3 shit you guys are talking about? Why am I out here playing tactic? Ooh, all advanced. I'm down a goddamn piece. Level 3, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Bruh. I had a nice position going there. Now I'm down a piece. I'm doubling. I'm just... It's criminal what's happening here. Go me. Wait, but actually go me. I'm going. I'm me. Hell yeah. Let's go. We went. We are him. Knight in. Stick to what works here. Going in front of that pawn. Let's blockade the pawn. Okay, king's hit. We want to head towards the center, so I think we'll just go that way. Take this thing. Okay, I feel like it could be worse. See if we can keep getting our king to the middle. Okay, I wish we could go there. We can't, so we'll go here instead. Trying to get to the middle. King's literally stuck, so what else do we have? Let's try to attack our opponent's pawn here. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Hey, we're getting somewhere now. That's and he resigns. This game just turned around completely. Stick on the ice. Level 3 tactics doesn't fail. Okay. Okay. I even doubted myself for a second, but no, knight e7 was the way to go. Perfect. Perfect. We're at 1190 on our way up. Pawn into the middle. I'm 1199 still. Ooh. Take the full center. Let's go. We want to be claiming the center when we can. Bishop there. Let's obviously take. Oh, okay. Take that. Let's get our pieces out here. Go with the knight. Go with our bishop. We want to get castled. Okay, not too bad. Bishop hitting the center. Want to get the rooks in. Yeah, I feel like this is pretty decent, actually. Rook in with some tempo. Really not going to forget our snorkel here. Okay, bishop hit. Let's just play it safe. I'm assuming this guy's going to come in with this. I'm already one step ahead of you, pal. Already one step ahead of you. Knight in. Looks like a capture to me. Okay, let's take that. I think our opponent's fumbling here. Bishop c5, rook's hit. Let's just get back to some safety here. Okay, what's the lay of the land here? We got one extra pawn. King's safe, rook's in the middle. Maybe something like this next. Also, RPM in the middle, looking pretty good as well. Yeah, I'm liking both of those moves. Let's go, you know, RPM in the middle, if I have one available, seems to be much higher priority than on the side of the board. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. RPM in the middle for the win. Random pawn move. The strongest chess habit you will ever learn. Well, let's keep it up here. Let's keep it up here. Random pawn moves take us home. Okay, well, before we do anything, let's do this because it's a check and it's also a fork. Okay, now we have to be careful. I was gonna say our opponent might resign. We had to be careful of that. He did. He got it in there, but right before, man, very impressive by him. He snuck it in. Well, it's almost like a win for him. It's almost like a win. It's just so impressive how he was able to resign right before I noticed that it was possible. Well, we actually become 1200 off that. Can you believe it? That was not even 20 moves. I felt like I didn't even do anything, and we just RPM'd up the gut, and the guy resigned on my turn. First of all, never resign. Second of all, never resign on my turn. Like, what? At least pull the plug when you're looking at your own position and you're like, oh, this is hopeless. You can't be doing it. I mean, this is crazy. Feels like a bit of a wild way to get there, but we noticed some significant improvement since adding the new habits. I'm curious, after watching today's 100 points, what you thought were the biggest differences.